Welcome to Tool Time with Thryv, the video series where we show you step by step how to use the most powerful tools that Thryv provides. Today, we're going to walk through how to use Thryv Integrations to send a new appointment from Thryv to Google Calendar. Thryv Integrations is what we call it when we set up Thryv to automatically send information to other apps and software like Google Calendar. Before we jump into the steps to set this up, I wanted to explain a little bit about how local businesses might be using Google Calendar. See, a friend of mine manages a pizza restaurant, and she loves Google Calendar because it's free, it's easy to use, and she can share the calendar with all of her employees so no one has to drive into work to physically look at a piece of paper each week. This means she can create her restaurant schedule every week, and all of her employees can see the schedule regardless of what device they might use, so they can look up the schedule anytime to know when they're working. So my friend's pizza restaurant also takes catering orders. And let's say she wanted to automatically send the appointments for catering orders that she schedules in Thryv to her Google Calendar. That way she can A, make sure her people know when those big orders are scheduled, and B, make sure she has enough people working to cover those big catering orders. Let's take a look at how to set up a Thryv Integrations app to automatically send those catering appointments from Thryv to Google Calendar. Here's how to create a new appointments app from Thryv to Google Calendar. First, we're going to make sure that we've got 3 tabs open in our browser. The Thryv tab in the first, the Zapier tab in the second, and Google Calendar in the third. In the Thryv tab, you can see the appointment that we're going to use to test our import process. It is a custom service that our client created called Catering Order for today at 11 a.m. To pull that through, we need to set up a Zap using Thryv Integrations. To do that, we're going to go to our Zapier tab. Back in our Zapier tab, you can see I've already connected Thryv and our Google Calendar. You can see both display account connected, so we are going to create a Zap. For those of you following along in the job aid, we're on page 7. So we're going to click this ... and then select Make a Zap. Alright, now we're going to select a trigger, and we are going to select Thryv as the trigger. Remember, a trigger is what kicks off or triggers the Zap process. We want our trigger to be a new appointment in Thryv. We're going to select that and then click Save and Continue. We are going to make sure that we have our Thryv account selected and click Save and Continue. And we are prompted to pull in a sample, so we're going to click Load Samples. We're going to pull in this most recent appointment, so we'll click Continue. Alright, that is all we need to do to set up our new appointment. And you see over here that new appointment in Thryv has been set up for our trigger. Now we have to set up the next step, which is an action, and that action is what happens as a result of the trigger in the first step. And our action is going to be in Google Calendar, so we'll click that. We are going to click Create Detailed Event, and then click Save and Continue. We want to make sure we have the Google Calendar account set up under our Gmail account, so that is good. We are going to click Save and Continue. Now we're going to select the data that we're going to import in this new appointment. First, we're going to select the drop-down next to Calendar. Next, we're going to select the name of the Google Calendar that we're going to import to, which is the Gmail account. Then, under Summary, we are going to pull in the title, which is Catering Order. And we created that custom event named Catering Order, but you can name your event whatever you want, like Thryv Appointment or whatever works. Next, we're going to pull in an optional description. This is optional, so it can be anything. However, we're going to go ahead and pull in the client phone number. This is just extra information to come through for the appointment so they can know how to get in touch with their customer. But this is not a required field. When that's populated, we see that green information populate. We're also, since this is a catering order, we're going to go ahead and pull in the location. Again, not a required field, but something that would help in this specific situation. Now we're going to select a start date, which is right here under start time, and an end date, end time. Those are required fields. Now there are a few other optional fields that you could select. I think we are going to go ahead and enter a color. We are going to select a color just so that it will stand out a little bit more on the calendar. But again, this is an optional field. Alright, now there are plenty of other fields that could be selected. And you can select any other additional fields that you'd like to import, like how often the event repeats, or to turn on reminders, that kind of thing. When you're finished, you're going to click Continue. On this screen, we are going to send a test detailed event, which is what we created, to Google Calendar. So we're going to scroll down and click Send Test to Google Calendar. The screen redisplays with a success message. So we're going to go back to our Google Calendar tab, and we see the catering order was set up for 11 a.m. We've got the address in there, and it was color-coded purple, so it stands out against the calendar. Alright, our test was successful, so all we need to do is click Finish. And last but not least, we are going to name our Zap New Appointment to Google Calendar, and we're going to turn our Zap on, and ta-da! We've just used Thryv Integrations to set up a new appointment to automatically come into Google Calendar. Like I mentioned in the last video, Thryv Integrations takes business automation to the next level by connecting Thryv to apps and software that many of our clients are already using, like Google Calendar. This transforms Thryv from just one more app into the all-in-one management software built for local businesses in the modern marketplace. And sending a new appointment from Thryv to Google Calendar is just one more way that Thryv can take local businesses to the next level. Thanks for watching Tool Time with Thryv. This is Gabe, signing off.